Good morning.
It's actually afternoon now. We've fucked about so long trying to get this done.
Oh, it's 12:30.
Apologies for the language.
The
It was
language
supposed
is...
to be an 11 a.m. thing, wasn't it? Happy New Year anyway, mate. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, mate. Did you have a good one?
Chilled, quiet. We watched Venom.
No, good film.
Did you?
Tom Hardy?
Did you make it to midnight?
No.
Yeah.
No, I made it till 10, mate. So Leo had like 3 nights of no sleep leading up to it. And I thought, if I get past like 8, I'm happy. So 10, I'll take.
No, I was woken up this morning at 10:30 by a phone call from you.
Yeah, I know. Like, I can't text you. My whole morning is done by the time you're awake.
I'm on holiday. However, I am itching to go back to work.
Oh, mate, I can't wait. How long have you had off?
11 days now. 11 days, and I stir crazy.
Well, I gave up. Well, I gave up work a week before Christmas so that we didn't catch anything and we weren't ill. And then we were really ill all over Christmas. We all got ill on like Christmas Eve. We managed to do Christmas Day, but we've been rough ever since. So finally feeling good again today.
So we've actually got a bit of a format lined up for here. We were going to reflect on last episode, and then I've got a bunch of questions that we've got from a few different sources. However, one of the questions we'll just hop forward because I've been asked, and I don't know who this came from. This came from my email list. Chris, are you planning on setting yourself on fire in 2022? There might be a story with that one.
Setting myself on fire was the best thing that ever happened to me. Not at the time.
Calm you down a bit.
Mate, that was the turning point in my life. That stopped me drinking for about the last 10 years.
What year was that you actually did that?
I'm going to say I was like 27. So probably like 9 years ago.
And for the people who are both people that are listening and might not know the story, fill us in. What happened?
So I used to do this thing. So don't do this. I used to do this thing with Sambuca where you get the shot glass and you put your finger in the shot, you put the rest of the shot in your mouth, you'd light your finger, go all blue, and then you'd light your mouth and do a little statue. You'd wave your finger, fire would go out, shut your mouth, and the fire goes off. So
you must have looked so cool.
Mate, so cool. I must have done that like hundreds of times. Hundreds, like growing up. And then I did it at a mate's house and we thought, I don't know, we'll turn the lights off and we'll film it. And we watched the video back. We weren't that impressed. We said it wasn't that good. And I think it was probably my idea. I can't remember. But one of us said, there's some absinthe over there. Let's try it with that. So we did. And I'm telling you, I got my finger to like here and this big fireball just came down onto my T-shirt. Everything went up. I think I spat the drink out of my mouth onto his carpet. I think he was there putting his carpet out whilst my brother was there putting me out. And needless to say, I couldn't talk for about 2 months afterwards. And nice burns in my throat and but made a full recovery. And it kind of put me off drinking or going out doing anything fun ever since. So it was a real turning point for my career. That it was a good day. But no, I haven't.
It was scary at the time, and you were not pretty, were you?
But now look at me. No, mate, it was bad times. But I think everyone goes through like something that probably changes their path, and that for me was probably it. So
incredibly severe burns, pretty much all here, weren't you?
Yeah, like so all around here. So I still get this bad bit of skin all around here, and then like all down over my chest, and yeah, it only really shows now when I get a tan, which when I was bodybuilding was all the time. Now I can say I'm very pasty and you hardly notice. So
any plans to redo that?
No plans ever to set myself on fire, no. And I highly don't recommend it to anyone else.
Yes, probably.
But anyway, enough about my career of injuries.
Enough. There's going to be plenty more times we can discuss dumb shit he did when he was younger. One of the things we were going to do was sort of touch back on the previous episode, which we haven't put live yet, but we have sent it to a lot of people. And from your end, did you get any good feedback? I didn't.
Not really, no. So this time we might talk a little bit more about fitness and put a bit of content in there.
Yeah, well, what I found fascinating, everyone's shitting on the fact that I didn't have a microphone.
It was more the audio.
Do now. Yeah, the audio sucked, but we've worked on that, guys. We've listened to you and we've worked on that.
So you've actually put some questions to some people, haven't you? You've asked for some questions and got some good ones back.
I'm quite fortunate in that I'm surrounded by people. I think I said this to you before, right? It's nice to have friends who are just supportive, like about anything you do, right? I don't have any of them. I have people in my life who will tell you the truth, irrespective if it's hurtful or not. They will just brutally be honest. And they've gone through and they have said, yes, don't. Apparently, it's incredibly rude when I just walk away from the screen to go to the kitchen and grab a drink, and you're just left there going, where's he going? Apparently, that's incredibly rude. Don't do that again. Sit closer to the microphone. Apparently, this is not cool. Apparently, I shouldn't be doing that. I should actually stay in the shop. Yes, people should be bringing you more food. loads of comments. But yeah, and it got a lot of questions, things that people want me to ask you and for us to discuss and debate on here. So be interested to see if we can keep this under an hour and 40 minutes like the last one. But my phone's actually going wild. I've just put it on silent because it's actually going wild with Instagram notifications because I've just put a question up there saying, again, absolutely nothing of interest.
Can we answer every single one with yes or no?
Yeah, this is one thing I want to talk about actually. Your thoughts on, because it drives me insane. Okay, in this space, in this environment, right? You ask a trainer a question, and their response is always what? Well, it depends. It doesn't depend. There's an answer to the question. Stop. Like you've heard someone in the industry go, well, it depends. It doesn't depend. There is an answer to your question.
There is a black and white normally. Yeah.
Yeah, we would need possibly sometimes a little bit more information, but there is an answer.
Yeah, for every person, there's a different training history. There's a different level of skill from what you've already learned. So yeah, the answer might depend slightly on your where you currently are, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. But there's still an answer to your question because you're the one answering it. So it doesn't depend. Your answer has your question has an answer.
Okay, so even when we're answering these, because a lot of these questions have been posed to me as sort of like general questions, I think I'll give my ideas, you give your philosophy, and somewhere in the middle we're going to give a definitive answer that I think would cover literally everyone. I think, in my opinion, anyway, because I've got opinions on here. How long?
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Give me your first question.
What should we do? Should we do the ones that came from the emails or Instagram? Because the Instagram ones are, they're what you'd expect from our friends on Instagram.
If they're really, really shit, can we name and shame who they are?
Okay, well, Callum Reed, first one.
Creed Fitness.
Shout out, Callum. Is there any point to all this? I don't think, knowing Callum, that's related to the podcast and us talking. I think that's more a philosophical. What's the word?
Philosophical,
excuse me. I think that's more a philosophical. He's probably laying in bed hungover right now, knowing Callum, and he's going, is there any point to any of this? We're going to die anyway. What's the point?
To give him a yes or no answer, no, there's no point to any of this. If it's about the podcast, then no.
Absolutely no point. He might listen, which I'm grateful for, along with 3 other people I know, but that will be it. Ben Hodges. Ben Hodges. Do you remember Ben Hodges?
I do, mate. I do.
He asks, how do I get huge like you two?
Eat.
Yeah.
Eat.
Eat and train with volume. That's it.
Yeah. He can't get huge anyway. He plays football.
Yeah, that's true. He's probably moving too much to actually put on any serious weight.
Yeah. And mate, when you get to a stage with your football where you put on too much size, you have to retire, and that sucks. I got to a point where everybody could just run rings around me, and I just couldn't I couldn't even turn around and run in another direction to catch them. So game over.
Yeah, I remember playing football. You back in the day, you could play.
Yeah, I was all right. I was all right at football. I was pretty good. I could go through the whole, like, when I was younger, I had trials, but everyone does that. So, but no, I was, yeah. But then you do get to a size, and life just becomes a bit impossible for certain sports. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, everyone's got that. Oh yeah, when I was younger, I had trials for this, I had trials for that. Everyone's got that story, right? I didn't. Every football coach I ever worked with went, Ben, you're a great athlete. You've got a fantastic engine. You try really hard. It's a shame you've got no quality touch to you whatsoever at all.
That's like my
hasn't improved.
sounds exactly like me at school, mate. Got loads of potential. Sits in class really well, can stay upright, but when it comes to learning anything, no.
He's deadlifting. He's in the gym. The next one is posed just simply unilateral or bilateral. Now, to anyone not understanding that question, unilateral would be training on one arm, one leg, one side of the body. Bilateral would be on both at the same time. So we're talking split squat versus squat, single leg deadlift versus deadlift. Question, go.
For me, mate, both. I think both should be incorporated into your plan. I definitely think that single leg, bilateral stuff, for me, probably takes a precedence in my training. But I think unilateral, there should at least be 1 or 2 unilateral exercises for each body part somewhere in the week if you can. So I think you're probably quite opposite to me, aren't you? You're a fan of unilateral.
Yeah. I'd say we're completely opposite sides of the spectrum there. I think for me, powerlifters, Olympic lifters, I can't really think of many others that would, you would need, there must be more. Rowers are going to need bilateral stuff. Other than that, I think everyone can benefit from unilateral stuff. I know my programs are almost exclusively unilateral. I can't think of any time I'll hip thrusts. Can't think of any other time we'll do. Occasionally. It's wrong to say that we don't do it, but I think whoever you are, you can benefit from that stuff.
I think unilateral exercises. I definitely think unilateral exercises benefit you in terms of strength for bilateral. So like things like your single leg lunge or your single leg like Bulgarian split squats. I think they're going to give you a much better squat. Like when you use.
See, that is interesting to me because everyone I know. Okay, so I am always going to say unilateral. Everyone I know who is super strong on one leg unilaterally built their strength on 2 legs.
Interesting, because I think anyone who wants to progress their strength on 2 legs needs to put in a single leg exercise.
Have we just fluffed an answer there? Is now the answer that it depends?
No, I don't think it depends. I think the answer is for the best possible result, you would want a combination of both. You could put both into your training program, but it has to be specific to your goal. So if your goal is to be a stronger sprinter, well, no, to be fair, I'd still would say a combination of both.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know. I'm hard to be swayed from this. To me, unilateral is king.
Okay, right. But when you're doing your unilateral, because I know you're a big fan of full body exercises as well over body parts, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd always do full body workouts with someone unless we're training 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah. So if you're training like 2 or 3 times a week, you're going full body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go with that. I would definitely go with that. And when you're doing your unilateral like leg exercises, are you combining that with an upper body movement at the same time?
Yeah, I tend to work a lot of triceps. So we'll hit, so first tricep will be like a lower body quad focused exercise, and then would be some sort of pulls to the upper body, and we'll mix it with like a core movement, maybe a carry or some sort of, anti-extension, anti-rotation sort of movement, and then it would be the 3. Yeah, it's very, I get laughed at when I start, and I go, right, so I've got 3 exercises for us. And they go, funny that. Yeah, funny that. So that's sort of how I would, literally all my training is triceps. They probably, I would say, 80-85% of the time. How about you?
So you would, just so that people understand, so you would probably do maybe like 2 or 3 triceps as the full workout?
Yes, I would say, yeah, between 2 and 3. I would say that would be it. So we'd either hit 6 or 9 exercises after the warm up. And that would come out. And
I would say the majority of my clients, I would probably do something very similar.
Either superset. Way of doing it because you. I'm sorry.
No. I was going to say either supersets or trisets. Again, depending on how much time and how many sessions in the week.
So, like, say if we're doing 3 exercises, so we hit one exercise, we're not rushing to the next. We'll hit one exercise, we'll do 30, 45, even a minute's rest, and then we'll go on to the next one, and then the next one. So by the time we've actually got back to the first exercise, we might have had 6 minutes rest. You know, I mean that's probably an exaggeration, but you're well rested there. You know, and it works. You know, we're never going to go, oh, okay, hip, push. You know, it's never going to be like that. It's always going to be alternating stuff. You know, hit the body, and to me, it's just a great way of getting everything in a really time efficient sort of way.
100%. It's very, very, very efficient way of training, and I agree with you. I don't think it has to be a superset or a tricep where you're back to back to back. Like you can do that if you want a bit of extra conditioning, but I would rather get a bit of extra load on the exercise. So you are doing it as triceps with plenty of recovery to allow you to still lift progressively heavier maybe on each set.
So we agreeing then when it comes to unilateral, bilateral, if your strength sport dictates it or your goal dictates strength on 2 legs, bilateral. However, everyone could benefit from unilateral training and a combination of both.
Definitely. I definitely like a squat, a deadlift, surprisingly, and a bench. Like I do like to do the big lifts that you would see in the majority of strength and conditioning training plans. However, I also would always try and incorporate unilateral as well. So I just think for me it would be a combination of the two.
Yeah, I also like the unilateral stuff as well because it's really safe.
Yeah, you're not as likely to injure yourself. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Knock on wood. In all the years I've been doing this, I've never, knock on wood, I've never had anyone injure themselves in a section with me. However, myself, I've only ever injured myself when I've been training on two legs.
And do you think that's
never injured myself on one leg?
Interesting. So do you think that's because you've tried to push yourself too hard, too quickly on 2 legs, like more of an ego? You can get more weight on there, and your form goes a little bit. Yeah. I think that's probably true with me as well. It's very, very hard unilaterally to add too much resistance on.
So, that's an interesting one. Unilateral all day, yeah?
Yeah, combination of the both.
I think the take home from that is don't limit yourself. Don't say, right, I'm only going to do this. And that actually feeds on to another question that I've just seen come in. This person can literally do one. If you can only train one exercise, what would it be? Go on.
Ooh. Is this if I wasn't injured and I could lift?
Yeah.
I'd say that
anything you want.
Definitely preacher curl biceps. It's the only one that matters.
My answer to that question is
deadlift.
What's a stupid question?
Yeah.
Deadlift.
For me, if I had to pick one, your answer is better. It is a very stupid question, but I would go deadlift.
Yeah, what a daft question. Like, again, we're limiting ourselves. Why do that?
What would your answer be if you had to pick one?
I think it would probably be either a trap bar deadlift or a rear foot elevated split squat. One of those two. I just find lower body stuff so much more. I just enjoy it more.
More bang for your buck as well, isn't it? Like lower body stuff.
Yeah, big time.
So
yeah, big time.
Could I deadlift and do a bit of a curl as it comes up, like a little deadlift into a drag curl kind of thing? Can we adapt it into like one exercise being like 6 in 1? We could do like a curl to a press to a make it a barbell complex rather.
Well, that's interesting. We could go all old school and do some body pump style complexes. Okay, deadlift. Barbell or trap bar?
Good question. So unless you're a powerlifter, do you need to do a conventional deadlift?
Okay, yeah.
The trap bar for me. So I will probably favour the trap bar with 90% of my clients because it's safer. So if you've got a safer lift that gives you a pretty similar result, then why would you not use it? As long as you're progressing I think as long as you're progressing the weight on it or the reps, if there's some sort of progressive overload, then the trap bar is fine. Personally, I do like to do some conventional stuff as well, but that's just because of how I've trained over the years and I'm quite good with my technique on it. So, but yeah, trap bar for me.
We are, for once, in agreement. Trap bar all day, every day. Next up, is spinach good or bad? This person can't spell spinach. Good or bad?
Good. Good.
Is the audio picking up the cat that's just coming and banging on my door?
Oh, I can't hear it. Invite them in. It'll make it more entertaining. No, I think spinach good. I love spinach. I eat spinach every day. Cooked over raw, I would say.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's a lot to be said about just eating your vegetables no matter what, not worrying about it at all. There's a lot of hoo-ha out there at the moment about you shouldn't be eating raw spinach. You should only be cooking your spinach because of phytates and phytic acid within it. But low-hanging fruit, eat fucking veg.
Yeah, I would say raw spinach is a lot better than no spinach, but I would say cooked spinach is better than raw spinach.
Should we say that then?
That would be my final, yeah. But yeah, spinach is good.
Spinach over no, but if you're going to have it, cook it.
Yeah, I would say
that. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's good. Seed oils, yay or nay? So we're talking sunflower. Are we going to be on the same thing here?
Yeah, I think we're going to be on the same page. Like, I'm going to be honest, like, people that think that seed oil is bad for them, that's fine if everything else is good in your diet and good, if you have other good. But most people that are concerned about these things, they're doing plenty of other things that are going to damage their body a lot more than seed oil. So, I don't think I would worry too much.
If you're worried about seed oils and you haven't got your calories in check, you're not eating enough protein, enough vegetables, enough fibre, you're not sleeping enough, you're stressed, you're not hydrating, you don't need to worry about seed oil stuff. Don't worry about it. I mean, if we're cooking in it, I've got my opinions on cooking and stuff, but
do you cook in oil? Do you use oil when you cook?
I absolutely load stuff up in oil.
Do you? But
I've never.
So, but do you cook with the oil, or do you put the oil on after?
Well, that depends. So if I'm cooking in something, I will use either ghee or coconut oil.
Yeah, because it burns slower.
And it's so much more stable under high temperatures.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can show you my kitchen's just there. I can show you that I buy ghee like this, but you do get through it. And I try and make sure at least a meal a day is liberally doused in olive oil, just because I feel good for it. It keeps the greys away.
No, it doesn't. You just cut them out.
To me, yeah. I'm learning off you.
Mate, I go get my hair cut, and what do you want? Well, just cut off the greys. That's why it gets higher and higher up here.
Yeah.
Soon I'm just going to have a mohawk where they're getting rid of everything from the sides.
Yeah, you look good with a mohawk.
Yeah. It'll go that way soon anyway. Mate, she won't let me cut his hair.
Really?
I'm going to have to take him to my mate Ashley for the first haircut. But again,
I don't get him a flaming Sambuca.
I don't think. Nice and cheap. I don't think that Faye's going to let me give him a skin fade. I've asked, but
she's the uncoolest mum going.
It'll go so well with all my little Instagram videos of him in the gym. Can you imagine Aaron? His full Nike outfit. I put the cap on backwards, and then when I take it off, he'll have this little mohawk underneath. That'll blow my Instagram up.
It would, to be fair. It's funny, isn't it? We spend years trying to gain attention and build stuff on social media, and the only thing you actually needed to do to get any traction on social media was have a kid.
Yeah. Really? God.
Arsenal 1-0 up versus Man City.
Ruins my day.
Mate, Tierney with the assist. You should have put him on.
Oh, man, he's on my bench. This is the first time ever I've had 2 Arsenal players and 2 West Ham players in my fantasy team. I feel.
Sorry, should we move on?
Oh, yeah, no one cares. Yeah.
Oh, shit. How long have we gone?
Oh, mate, I don't know.
50 minutes.
Yeah. Let's round it up with, 3 more questions?
3. I've got like 12. All
right, well, we'll be more quick fire. Okay.
More a comment. Ben, get some decent music taste, please. You can fuck right off.
What do you listen to when you train?
See, I'm controversial because I like slower music. So,
Celine Dion, Mariah Carey.
I think more. So, like Alter Bridge, we saw them in Southampton.
We went to see them.
Yeah, we saw them at Southampton Guildhall.
Yeah, I'd listen to that. I would listen to that.
So, it'd be them. It would be Creed, Mark Tremonti. Sort of more upbeat but soulful.
Yeah, I don't mind. I could train to that.
Yeah, I can train to anything. To me, music is just and I think that's the key thing. If it works for you, do it.
Mate, how long have you been training for? So I've trained for so long that I think I've just completed music. Like I wouldn't say I have one type of music I listen to. Like, and I'm one of those people. Like I'll change the track every set. I'll put my music on, get my track ready, do my set, put the weights down, and then I'm looking for my next track for my next set. I don't even listen to the whole thing. Like I think I've just completed every genre of music in the last however many years.
Yeah, I'm on a big Dermot Kennedy kick at the moment, which is strange because you can't really train to just a guy and his acoustic guitar. But to me, it works. I'll happily do that, but no one else would do that.
I'm still, if I had to pick, I'm still going like Dre 2001, Eminem, like the early stuff.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
That would still be my go-to.
Like, it's a real hype up.
Yeah,
I think that's incredibly underrated. And kids today are saying, "Oh no, MGK." Get screwed.
Eminem would destroy Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah.
Great.
Okay, so we've answered that one. Ben's music is all right for the gym, but
it works for Ben.
It works for Ben.
I think people get frustrated when I teach a class and I'll do it to my style of music.
Mate, sack them off. If they don't like it, kick them out. You're the teacher. It's got to work for you.
Yeah, exactly. I managed to do a whole spin class, a couple of spin classes right before Christmas. They were desperate. I won't do spinning if I can avoid it. And I was like, right, well, I'm going to do my music tastes. So I did like Leona Lewis and like just stuff that to me, you hear it, it just makes you feel like, yeah, it's good, you know? And everyone's like, this is the worst thing ever. Next up, my boyfriend wants me to lift weights with him. This scares me. I don't want to look masculine. Help.
You won't. Don't worry. And try and outlift him. It'd be funny. If you're going to lift the same weight,
To me, it is entertaining because certainly guys and girls seem to have different different body parts they're good at. So it is always entertaining for me when a female exceeds the male in certain lifts.
Oh yeah. Like, but let's be honest, right? You're not going to get huge or masculine if you're a woman lifting weights. Do you know how hard it is for men to build muscle? And our level, so the main hormone that helps you build muscle is testosterone. Our testosterone levels are obviously a lot higher than women's. So that's why we have the ability to build muscle and hold on to muscle a lot easier. So for you to look masculine, I would suggest you would have to be on some form of pretty strong enhancers. You'll look.
This could be an example again.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, this could be an example again of where you're looking at certain influencers online. And I use the word influencer lightly because you might be comparing yourself to them, and they are potentially chemically enhanced. Let's say that.
Yeah. I just think like it's so hard to build muscle as it is. even for men.
Yeah, you didn't just one day pick up a barbell on the Monday and the Tuesday you looked the way you didn't.
Years and years of training. But if I was a woman, I wouldn't look like this from all the training that I've done.
You get.
Thanks, mate. I think I would.
Yeah, I think you'd be all right.
Yeah.
I think I definitely.
I've definitely got the chest.
Definitely. So no, don't worry about looking masculine. If you're going to enjoy it with him, do it. However, be wary. Sometimes training with your other half can cause arguments.
Oh yeah.
You definitely shouldn't train your other half either.
No, it doesn't work. Friends maybe. Family, probably not. Although we both train our mum, don't we?
We both train our mums. Yes.
So that's all right. My mum had a trainer for 10 years before she trained with me. And I was actually a trainer for about 4 of those years. And she still didn't come and train with me. And I'm like, Mum, come on. She's like, yeah, but I've been with him for so long and this and that. And then I think he went away on holiday and I trained her for a week. And she went, well, you do different things in each session. Yeah, you're training like 3 times a week. But they're not all the same. No. Oh, I think I'm going to come with you because I just do the same thing every time I'm with them. Like, fucking hell.
See, that's my argument. People always argue with me about that. We're doing the same shit over and over again. So yeah,
but that's fine.
The same 30 exercises.
That's fine. But if you were training someone 3 or 4 times a week, would you do the exact same session with them 3 or 4 times in that week, or would you mix those exercises to get a bit of a broader platform? Yeah.
If I could get my mum to do something 3 times a week, that would be incredible. She'd do such a bad job.
My mum comes in 6:30, 4 times a week. And do you know what? She's retired. Well, she isn't retired, actually. She's still working. But she could come in any time during the day. She starts work at like 4. So I'm pretty sure she just gets me up at 6:30 in the morning as like punishment for all those years where I was a bit of a dickhead growing up. It's like
Mum, can you come bail me out?
She'd be picking me up about 6:30 in the morning. She was always happy to come out just to get me home.
That reminds me, I owe your mum 20 quid.
Oh, here we go. Why?
Yeah, I paid for all of us. Yeah.
That's even longer than last time, so it's fine.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's
what she said. Right, I'm just going to check the Arsenal score. Should be after time. Ooh.
Give me another question. Let me answer another question first.
Still 1-0. Right, should I stretch before or after training?
Good question. Both. But your stretches before should be dynamic stretches, and your stretches after should be static stretches. So for me, So let me go into this one. So I think for me, like my warm up is like movement. So I won't just go and sit on a bike for 5 minutes and then go into my like weights. I will do like 5 or 10 minutes of mobility, like moving, warming the joints up that way. I will do a static stretch if I have an injury somewhere, maybe, or if someone has an injury somewhere. And if they benefit, because they have an injury, if they benefit from doing a very quick static stretch before going into their training, then fine, do it if it works for you. But for me, it's more movement beforehand, conditioning, getting your heart rate up, getting ready for what you're about to do. Yeah. Then you go into your strength training, and then I'll do a static stretch at the end. That would be my answer.
I would 100% agree with that. And the only thing I would add is that I've always said pre-workout, foam roll, and dynamic mobility. Whether the science says foam rolling is good or not, foam roll before, and because people just feel good for doing it. 75% of the people I work with, we foam roll before we do anything. Just great way of getting the heart rate up. Anyway, mobility work, strength train, condition, stretch, static stretch. Hold the stretch, what we're saying. And I always thought it should be dynamic mobility first, workout, body, and then static at the end. Until I read a book by Mike Boyle, I think it was, Functional Training for Sports. And he's proposing static stretch, foam roll, dynamic mobility, workout. So it'd be static, foam roll, dynamic. That way round, because he's talking about you'll stretch a cold muscle to change the length, and then I can't remember it, but I started trying it myself, and I haven't done it with any clients because it sort of works. The foam roll, dynamic mobility, it kind of works. but I've been using it on myself, and I do feel good for it. So I think that's important to take home from that.
That's good. Try it's you know, it's good to try it yourself, isn't it? It's trial, and if it works for you, then you can start. You know, if you feel good on it, then you can start giving it to your clients. But there's probably no right or wrong in terms of, as long as you're not getting injured and you're exercising safely. But I kind of still am on the old school of, you don't want to overstretch a muscle before you go into like your strength work, because you may lose a little bit of power. Like a shorter muscle, slightly shorter muscle. You don't want to have like overextended the muscle going into your strength work. I don't think. I think I still like to do my static stretches towards the end. What I am starting to do is, if I do different body parts in the same session, I will do that body part, stretch that body part, then move on to the next body part, rather than saving all my stretches to the end. But that's purely like a time efficiency thing for me, because my workouts are quite long anyway. And if I get to the point where I get to the end of the workout and I've been a while, I'll just sack off the stretching. So it makes sure I get it done.
Next question: how long should a workout be?
Again, I think it depends on training age.
Go on, say it.
No, I think for me it depends on training age. So I think most people will go ideally 45 minutes an hour, and that probably is the ideal. But I do struggle to get my workouts into an hour. So for me, they tend to be like an hour and 15, an hour and a half. Could also be because I enjoy training. So I could probably be more efficient and get it done in an hour. Maybe more intensity, but I rest quite a long time. So
my answer is going to change pre and post COVID. Excuse me. Pre-COVID, it was hour, get it done within an hour. And since COVID, when it was sort of like, right, we're working in gyms, we need to get everything clean, and you can't have change over time. You can't have two clients in the same space at the same time. You get them in, get them done, get them out. And it's just keeping it moving in that. I think now I would say 40 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's just my take on that.
I'll definitely meet you there. I would say between 40, for me, it's your ideally, I would say between like 45 minutes and an hour and 15.
Yeah, somewhere between that.
Somewhere between that, but you would try and get your dynamic warm up and your stretches into that time as well. My stretches might be outside of that, and then the workout. But that's, I enjoy training. For me, if I'm enjoying it in there, then
yeah,
that's another thing to take away from it as well.
If your lifestyle, like busy dad here, like you. In an ideal world, your workouts would last 2-3 hours, wouldn't they?
Oh, mate.
You enjoy it.
Yeah.
Whereas there's probably parents out there that, like, if we set Faye a program, Faye's Chris's wife, if anyone's not paying attention, if we set Faye a program and said, right, 45 minutes, would she do that?
Well,
would she have time?
We were chatting to her the other day, weren't we? What did she say to us? She said, if I could just get back to training twice a week for 15 to 20 minutes, that would be amazing. So
we're talking not even an hour. We're a week.
No, what I would say is that would be a good place for her to start, because she's doing nothing, right? So doing more than you're currently.
Realistically, you can get a lot done in 20 minutes.
Yeah, of course you can. Like this is the thing. I think it's a case of like, it's a progressive load theory, isn't it? Because like you need to be doing more than you're currently doing. So if you're currently doing nothing, doing 20 minutes twice a week is a really good start. And then what I think happens from there is you build good habits and you start enjoying it more, and you get a bit more motivation, and suddenly you find you might be doing 3 times a week. You might be doing for 40 minutes, but the rule of training really is do more than you're doing now.
Yeah. I can't argue with any of that.
So the ideal, I reckon that's probably the way to finish that question. Like the ideal length of session, well, there isn't one. There's no specific amount of time. The idea of the point of training is to try and do more than you were currently doing.
I work with an 88-year-old female, and our things are literally, sit to a chair, stand up, single leg squat to a chair, things like that.
Yeah.
Our workouts, if we didn't natter and actually go on with it, would be 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it does fit. You can get a lot done in that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. I've got the questions. I'm looking at you for a question. Do I need to work out every day? Oh,
yes.
I'm going to expand this question.
10 times a day.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I think so. I think you need to do something every day. I'm not sure that needs to be weight training 7 days a week. I think you need to be doing stuff every day.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's
I think that's part of a healthy habit.
I think one of the best things that came into healthy living over the last little while is the whole 10,000 steps a day. It doesn't have to be 10,000, but like getting people thinking about moving a bit more and being active. Going for a walk is a great form of exercise. There's so many people that just sit around at a desk and then in the evening sit in front of a TV. So for them, going out and walking, that's great exercise. Move.
I think people could learn from that exact statement there. That walking is good for your physical health, it's good for your mental health, it's good for your cardiovascular system, it's good for reducing anxiety, it's good for circulation, it's free, it can be done anywhere. More people aren't taking advantage of this. Do you remember when first lockdown hit? I don't know if you remember that. And if you were out of your house once a day, everyone went walking. Do you know what people loved in that first lockdown? The life in that first lockdown. Everyone was enjoying things. Everyone was enjoying their time at home. And why? Well, maybe because they were prioritising their health. I've actually got a theory on this one.
Yeah.
Because I would have my preferred way for people to do it, if that makes sense. So I would rather people did, and I suppose this is in an ideal world if you can rest and recover properly, 2 days on, 1 day off of training. And that would be not a big hour and a half workout, 2 days on, 1 off. It would be more a full body something, 30 to 45 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Because 2 days in a row, you're never gonna overdo stuff doing 2 days in a row, and then that 1 day off, you're never gonna. If that makes any sense.
No.
You've got 2-3 days without training.
Yeah, so you get 2 days of training and then a day to recover.
Yeah.
And on that day of recovery, maybe like active rest, maybe like go for a walk, do a bit of cardio.
Walk in, have a stretch. Absolutely, I think people should be stretching every day.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I don't. I wish I did, but that for me needs to be something for this year.
Yeah, no, cool. I got more on Instagram. Sorry, come through last. Since we checked Instagram, how do I lose the fat between my thighs, Chris? Someone wants to know that.
It's actually really.
Sets of.
How do I lose the fat anywhere on my body? Calorie deficit. You cannot spot reduce body fat. So doing 1,000 sit-ups is not going to make you have a tiny tummy. You're not going to lose the fat from your tummy. Doing 1,000 bicep curls is not going to lose fat off your arms. Okay, the only thing that will lose body fat is being in a calorie deficit. Annoyingly, we all have these different body types and body shapes. So the fat is going to come off where the fat wants to come off first. Usually it's wherever you don't want it to. So for me, I lose the fat off my arms and my legs first, and then it comes off from around my tummy. It'd be really nice actually if I could just hold on to the fat on my arms and legs and get one of them and just lose it all around the middle and then never diet. That would be my. But it doesn't happen. It normally comes off because you're conscious of where it is. You'll always see the fat there until it's completely gone. So you're always going to think it's the last thing to leave your body. But the only way to lose body fat is to be in a calorie deficit. You then train to get greater muscle definition in certain areas and build muscle, but you cannot spot reduce where the body fat comes off from by doing exercises.
So next time someone comes up to you and goes, how do I get rid of that?
Move more, eat less, get some good sleep.
Sweet. Sounds good to me. I've got 1,000 more questions on here, but maybe we should, because I'm pretty sure we've gone well over an hour again.
Should we save some for next time?
Shut up.
Yeah. That's some good stuff to start with, right?
I think so. Well, I just think it's quite interesting that people are, like, first of all, that people have looked at my Instagram story and gone, well, actually, I'm going to ask a question, because some of them are actually, there's more. Are Monster energy drinks on your list of recommended drinks for a healthy lifestyle? It's a question that's just come in. No. Do you know what? Again, low hanging fruit. low hanging fruit. Don't worry about that shit. Don't worry about it. That was Eddie actually who asked that question. The guy I trained with on a Tuesday night.
Would your advice to everyone be like, unless you get the basics in place first, you shouldn't be overstressing the little things?
100%. Yeah. Eddie's ritual is normally about 8 o'clock on an evening. He'll take him, his wife, and his kid, and they'll cook about that.
Yeah. I enjoy getting asked health questions from people that are drinking 10 to 15 pints at a weekend and smoking about 10 fags a day. Because they're asking you questions about all these little things about, but isn't this bad for your health? And should I be... It's definitely better for your health to do this than to do what you're doing. I'm not preaching. Don't stop drinking or smoking if you really enjoy drinking or smoking. Stop smoking. But yeah, do what you want to do, but pick your battles. Like, get your basics in place first before you start overly stressing about these really, really small things.
Yeah, it's probably worth mentioning as well that whilst we've been sat here doing this for like an hour and a half now, yes, I have consumed an energy drink, but that is my first one of the year. No, that is my first one in probably 2 months. I just fancied one of these because I was like, you know what, we're filming, let's have some energy. And I'm bounced off my tits right now. And I probably have one of these a day. Soon. I enjoy it. I don't have any other vices. Literally have no other vices, so we're good. That's one. I need to stop spending my money on a hooker. That's about it.
Whatever makes you happy, mate.
Yeah.
Yep. On that note, should we leave it on energy drinks and hookers?
Energy drinks and hookers. Maybe this could be the name of this episode.
Okay, done.
So the name of the first episode was the one before Ben got a mic.
Yeah. The second one will be
a different name for it. Energy drinks and hookers.
The one where Chris lost his wedding ring. We had a few, didn't we?
Have you found your wedding ring yet?
No. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. It definitely came up about whether I should buy a new wedding ring about 2 days ago.
Did she notice? Had she already noticed?
She knows. She knows. No, she knew it was gone, but we both assumed.
She was telling me yesterday about the time you guys were going to a wedding, and she went, "Yeah, and you know what was going on. He'd probably lost something or something. We were running late. Chris had probably lost something. You know what he's like." She said that to me, and I was like, "Yes."
This was the time we took our dog to the church. But we had to take the dog to the church because we were running late. It probably wasn't me. It was probably her. It was probably me. But we were running late. But we had the dog in the car. We were meant to drop the dog off at my parents before the wedding, which we didn't have time to do. So we took the dog to the church, left her in the car for the service. Obviously, windows down. She was safe. But we didn't have enough time. So we had to then go from the church all the way back to my parents' house, drop the dog off, and then go all the way back to the reception. And it was like, I won't say whose wedding it was in case they didn't notice, but let's just say Faye was needed for some photos. So we turned up like 2 hours late to the reception, and everyone's like, where are they? And we had to tell them, I don't know, we got lost or whatever it was. Like, don't take dogs to weddings. Don't do it.
The other question I've actually got here is your incredibly thoughtful Christmas gift. Faye, how did she like her
fucking mate, that has
Christmas?
Massively backfired on me because she fucking loves it. I don't get her looking. She literally loves it.
Is it one of these proper virtual reality headsets you put on?
It's sick. It is so good. Oculus Quest 2. Get it.
And this is probably sounds really really stupid on my behalf. So is it like a PS thing or is it like a Nintendo thing?
No, it's done by Facebook. There's a shooting game that we're playing where like you're in the buildings and you're coming around, but the people are so real. Like, and you'll suddenly like turn and there's someone running at you, and you're like you actually get that like adrenaline, like. And the boxing game, mate. I bought this boxing game for like £3. Mate, I was drenched. I did like 2 rounds. I was covered in sweat, and it's like it's like you're actually having this fight. But when you hit, there's nothing there, so it's really weird. But yeah, massively backfired because I literally thought that was mine, and yeah, she gets the majority of use. So
you got to wait till September for your birthday.
Yeah, September we're getting to. What did you get for Christmas?
A lot of Jaffa cakes.
Oh, I hate Jaffa cakes. You don't like Jaffa cakes, do you?
Really?
Yeah, I don't like cake,
No, I
so
don't like them.
it's too much like a cake to me.
So my favourite would be like a biscuit, but everyone like. I would show you my cupboard, but it's just disgusting the amount of chocolate and biscuits I got. Because when I say to you, I have no vices. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. I literally have the most boring lifestyle ever. My big thing is biscuits. So every night I have biscuits. I just love an Oreo or a hobnob, or I can't get enough of them. Everyone went to town at Christmas and bought me that shit.
But you're a personal trainer. Should you be eating biscuits, Ben?
Yeah.
Don't you hate those questions?
It fits my lifestyle.
Exactly.
Don't judge me. Sort your own life out. Do as I say, not as I do.
No, I just think I just hate those questions. You're a personal trainer. Should you be doing that? But you're a personal trainer. Yeah, but if I can fits into my plan, I can be flexible.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that amazing?
I know so many nurses that smoke. I know a doctor that smokes. A GP, very well respected GP in our area, loves a cigarette.
Yeah, I find it baffling. You do whatever works for you and whatever makes you happy. And if a few biscuits fits into your lifestyle, and you can still get your good results by eating them. I mean, I can't because I'll smash down way too many, and I just put weight on a lot. You know, I would be so interested, but I would be so interested. This is body types, but I'd be so interested if I ate your diet for a week and you ate mine.
Mate,
what would happen?
Never, ever going to eat what you cook, ever. Do you remember that time you told the kids in a gym when they were like, "How do you get big?" You went to eat ice cream.
Ah, mate, there was 4 of them. I put them through this ridiculously hard plate workout, where I think that they all used a 5 kilo plate or a 10 kilo plate, but the exercises were tough. And they'd all asked me the day before. They were like, "How do you get so big?" And I was just like, "I just eat a lot of ice cream." So I turned up the next day and they were all sat in reception eating a tub of 2 litre ice cream. Took him upstairs, did the workout, and some kid, he'd got to the top of the stairs and he just threw up all downstairs, going down towards the squash courts, and then did a runner. And he never came back to the gym again, which I found really funny until someone said, "Yeah, you've got to clean that up." Fuck. I do miss doing the pointless challenges in the gym. The more educated you get and the more that you learn, less is more and this is how you program. Training does become less fun because the things that get you your results are boring. I do miss the bro science made up shit and the fun side of it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying because the amount of people that say to me, "This is repetitive, this is boring." It's yeah, but your results are quite addictive, aren't they? Yeah. But unfortunately, the stuff you need to do to get there can be quite repetitive, quite dull. Shall we leave it there then?
Let's leave it there, and let's just all hope that Man City get a second goal and Ben's afternoon is ruined.
To be fair, you don't play Man City and expect to win, do you? So I'm all right with 1-0, 1-1.
Yeah, mate. What was it Ivan Toney said when Brentford lost to City a couple of days ago? And he was like, "Yeah, I'd like to apologise to all our fans, but the bigger boys stole our ball." And that's what it's like, mate. You just can't get it off them. Such a good comment. Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, let's. You got no chance. Should we leave it there?
No. Yeah, man. Good to see you, buds.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. And
yeah.
Wow.
All the best for 2022.
It's gonna suck, isn't it? It's gonna suck.
Yep. All right. Peace.